Well, it was bound to happen that I wrote on the whiteboard with a permanent marker. Looks like it's coming off all right, eventually. Welcome to Prelude to Ulysses, Alex reads Littler Things. This is an excerpt from You Better Be Lightning by Andrea Gibson. It's called Timepiece. Don't look at this part that says Grickles of Indians Part 1. That's from a different book. I'll never have a lot to say about Andrea Gibson. She just is good. Really, I'm a big fan. Last one we read was The Museum of Broken Relationships. It was good. Big fan of this girl. Person. Timepiece. I've never known who Nick is. I just show up in the stranger of time. Sift every grain of sand from the Pacific Ocean into an hourglass that fits in my palm. I turn the hourglass upside down, and Vancouver trades places with San Diego. When they ask how I covered the wildfires in snow, I say I had time on my hands. My grandfather was a clock who stopped before I met him. I heard he was so kind you could look into his face and know you'd never been late for anything. My mother is still a little girl riding on his shoulders. Time flies and she reaches up to pluck feather pens from its wings so I can write this life down. I try, but it doesn't stay down. It keeps flying so fast I count my wrinkles the way I used to count sheep. When the number gets high enough, I'm told I'll fall asleep forever, but I once watched a woman skip her gravestone across a lake like a smooth pebble. Death hops if you let go at the right time. The Buddha says the right time is always now. My father calls me on the phone, and before I can say hello, asks, "Do you know what Steve Jobs said the instant before he died?" He said, "Wow. Time is money, but the end of money is wow." My friend wakes up at noon, goes to bed at 8. Wants less time because she wants less pain. I understand. I've been there too. I can spot a scar beneath a wristwatch from 100 yards away. And no, it is not the weak who try to clock out early, but people who are desperate to go home. Einstein says time is relative. Says the higher you get above sea level, the faster time goes. I live in Colorado. My house is over a mile into the sky. All day I hear the wheels of time burning rubber on the clouds. My life in a getaway car, racing toward the border, which is an invisible line. I only call death when I forget how to speak eternity's language. Forget that to run out of time is to run into the truth. That none of us have ever been our bodies. If we were, how would we fit in each other's hearts? To make up for lost time, you do not need to know why time went missing, or what kidnapped it, or if its face was on the back of a milk carton every day for 15 years. To make up for lost time, you need only to put down the grudge you are holding, so you can pick up the phone and say, "How many days did we need each other at the same time without knowing it?" Bitterness is the easiest way to leave this world, having only had a near-life experience. Whew. My partner and I have had hard days, hard months, but time stops when you're in love. And so I am the same age as I was when we met 5 years ago. She makes time for me with her own hands, builds me a watch from the silver that hasn't yet grown in my hair. Beside her, I've learned the only real way to waste time, to drag the seconds to the curb, to fill the landfill with minutes, is to let my body be a time capsule I forgot to put my heart in. Don't forget to put your heart in. Regret is a time machine to the past. Worry is a time machine to the future. Gratitude is a time machine to the present. No one books my travel for me. I decide where I want to go. I decide if I will be a sculptor, carving out time the way Michelangelo carved the statue of David. After 2 other artists gave up on that same block of marble, citing its poor quality, its impossible brittleness. All time is quality time. Don't abandon your chisel, believing it's not. No matter how it looks, you and everyone you know have hourglass figures. Each breath a falling grain of sand. To truly live is to see right through the skin to the avalanche. If we never deny the inevitable end of the story, we will write it more beautiful while we're alive. I love Andrew Gibson. I don't know much to say about it. There's a lot going on there. I don't feel like this is the type of thing that benefits from dissection, from my dissection. It's fun to talk about it. It's fun to read it. It's powerful. Good stuff. Thanks, Andrew Gibson. I hope you're doing okay.